Go. Okay, so I thought we could do a cool comparison video. Just objectively looking at different, UX UI and then features of, Maps of Care versus well-known maps like Google and Waze. So just cross comparison. There's always things I can improve, right, for our work, and then there's things that we have that no other map does have. So that's what it's going to be about. So right off the bat, we see a private and public setting from mine, right? Search bar at the top. Here, search bar on Google is right up here. There is no private or public setting. It's just public for everyone. Zip code is also going to be in there. Okay, our zip code is going to be separate. We also have a vibe filter, right? Vibe, space, and health filter. They have these, right? These are things to be able to see different points of interest like this, right? So technically those are like our spaces. If I want to be able to see spaces, that's what we're able to do. Okay. So really, when you click on that, it's going in the search bar and it's trying to find restaurants within that area. Museums, transit, pharmacies, ATMs. Okay, all stuff like that. Fair. Versus ours, these are going to be, you can search for things in the search bar. We'll do that test in a second. But these markers are already user generated, right? Or user crowdsourced. And that's what we're really trying to navigate towards. Then within these groups or within these or surrounding these markers, you're going to see a lot of these other points of interest, right? That would typically be on the Google one. So our markers are more largely group based, right? Not just for specific restaurants, but like foods in general. Like this place is known for that genre of marker. They do not have health. Okay, so for us, we do have the ability to add health barriers to our map. Google does not have that. They have healthy or health related places like hospitals and whatnot. It's not listed here, but I know they're somewhere. And then they don't have vibes. So we have the ability to see vibes, right? We see clusters of vibes overall. You saw them earlier. They glitch a little bit, so we need to work on that. But we do see vibes. I'll just take this one for now. You can see this whole cluster of what it's made up of overall. And that's what you can see. And these are all live in real time, right? Google does not have that, right? Search bar, they obviously have one of the best searches ever, right? So you could search for anything and find anything there. So if I type in McDonald's, I'm going to see all the McDonald's in this specific area, right? I think that's super cool. It looks really good. If you want to look at one, you can look at one, you can check about it, right? And then you can get directions there based off of wherever you are. Okay. On mine, if I typed in McDonald's, you're going to get them, but they're in a list format right now. I would like them to be on the map, right? I think that would be super cool. But I can go there. So if I do choose to go there, you have to know generally where the address is, right, in relationship to the map. And then if you want to go there, you can. So you can still navigate there. It'll give you turn-by-turn directions. But you just can't see all of them at one time. So that's definitely something that I would like to improve on ours, that they're really good at. And then once that's done, delete it. And then this is not saved. So you can always, that'll go away. What you're also able to see, this on ours, is you have this glaring button right here, right? That's the amount of people that are live on the map, right? So you can see how many people are live, logged in on the map. For this, you can't see that. You're also able to see this emotional and dynamic landscape. So wherever you are based off of vibe, you're able to crowdsource and see or zoom in and see what is the overall vibe depending on the area in which you're looking on the map. Google Maps does not have that feature. What Google Maps does has for navigation, they have multiple different types of navigation for that. So if I did want to navigate, we only have one form of driving or either walking, right? So we don't have all the alternative forms of navigation. So that's something that we can improve on. So different types of hour filters. So you have the ability to like look at your timeline, share your location. We don't have that for our map. You can contribute to the map, and then they give you a gamification scale. We have a similar feature where the more you contribute, the more points you get, right? So in the XP settings, the more you add to the map, right, the more you have that. Your data. I don't know what that is. Share an embed map. That's a cool feature that I think we should be able to add so other businesses or anyone else that would like to have their space on our map, also embedded on their website, so people can check out what the vibe is around that space at that time, live. It's missing a lot of the other settings that I'm about to show you, but just wanted to make sure I wasn't missing anything. Yeah, so in comparison, they're missing a lot of the ability to be able to understand what your vibe is wherever you are, right? Partially because you probably don't want Google to be able to have that information, right? Because they already have so much about you. But you don't have the ability to track how you're feeling throughout the day and where that is. You don't have the ability on Google to create screenshots to be able to understand your space with all the different markers that are live on the emotional weather map. You don't have the ability to add friends, right? It makes it kind of lonely. So you can't add friends to Google like we can, and you can't search shared spaces live with friends. You aren't able to look at architectural styles or architectural impact or landscape impact. You're not able to set specific goals of how you'd like to live your life, and then seeing how the map can reflect and help you achieve those goals or remind you to achieve those goals. On Google, you don't have the ability to do that either. So it's missing a lot of the behavioral, environmental context that our map really does well at. So while Google's great at like A to B transportation, ours is really trying to understand, well, why do places exist the way they do? And what are the underlying systemic conditions for why those places exist the way they do? And how does that affect our own vibe throughout the day? And how does that affect our own relationships throughout the day? So there's just a quick comparison overall, just for Google versus us. I'll do Waze next. Sweet.